everyone, it's Nick and Ron with another edition of Ask Ron. How you doing today, Ron?
I'm good, man. We're right here in the middle of the Quick Start Real Estate School here in Jacksonville, Florida. Sitting here inside the Embassy Suites, talking to you.
All right. Well, we got a few questions this week. First one is from Ed in California. He says, how will I know if I will be able to find a tenant buyer? I have a lead with free and clear house where the owner is willing to do terms, but the house is only 2-bedroom and 1-bath in a smaller town and not that many people around. What would happen if I can't find a lease option tenant? Do I just rent it out? Airbnb is kind of seasonal in that area.
Yeah, you can always rent it out, but if you can rent it out, you can find a tenant buyer for it. And probably worrying about the wrong stuff, because when you're putting a house on the market, on lease purchase, and they don't have to qualify at a bank, there's never any shortage of buyers. I don't know the town you're in, I don't know your market, but I've never seen a time where I couldn't find a tenant buyer for a house. But again, you can always rent it out. I wouldn't do it. I don't want a tenant in there. I want a tenant buyer in there with several $1,000s down, and they do all the repairs.
All right. Next question is from Perzina in Georgia. She says, do I have to be mentored to submit a deal to the live Gold Club Q&A call?
You don't have to be mentored to submit a deal, but you should at least be trained in the Quick Start School, or you probably won't even understand the answer. You gotta learn the ropes. You gotta learn to speak the language. You gotta learn what a deal is. And trying to avoid your education is not a good way to go. It's going to cost you a way lot more than just getting the education over with.
Yeah, and that call only comes around once a month, so you don't want to be waiting that long. Right. Next question from Perzina. I would like to introduce the real estate business to my grandkids. What is the legal age to attend one of your events and enter into a contract?
I don't have a legal age, but I don't want them in the room if they're not old enough to really care about what we're doing and are going to pay attention. I don't want them dragging your attention out of the room, I can tell you that. So you're going to have to be the judge of that.
All right. And then, of course, to enter into a legal contract, they'd have to be 18, right?
At least, and that probably depends on what state they're in.
But it is a good idea to get them involved early.
But they're not going to enter into it anyway. You are.
Yeah. Carrie from California. What is the procedure when closing? Do I provide the contract, or do both parties go to an attorney together?
You provide the contract to your attorney, and you ask your attorney to close it. And if they've got an attorney, they can he or she can communicate with your attorney. Always want to use your attorney to close.
All right, Carrie again. Is the purchase and terms contract any different for the state of California, and where can I find this contract?
You can find it on the Gold Club site, and frankly, it's different than any state. Every state's got their own documents, but there's nothing that's in mind that would create a problem for you in California, but there might be something a California attorney wants to add to it, unless we are talking about buying a house out of foreclosure. Many states have a special agreement for that one, including California and Florida and many others.
All right. Yeah, and that agreement is on Gold Club under Resources, Forms and Agreements. You can also just use the search box at the top, just enter Purchase and Sales Agreement. Next question from Carrie. Last question from David is, what's the process on finding tenant buyers for your property?
We're going to spend all day tomorrow on that here at the boot camp, so I'm not sure how I can answer that in one question. But I'll tell you, the main thing we do nowadays is just run ads on Facebook Marketplace and have our VAs build that page with the pictures of the house and the Matterport video tour and a description of the house. And by the way, I don't ever publish the address of the house, but I put the area of the house in it. And use social media, and you'll probably find more prospective buyers than you really want. We can go to other things, but honestly, you may not have to spend any money to sell a house today.
All right, that is all the questions.
All right.
We do have a Mastering the Phone event coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, we do. Tell them how to get on it.
Yeah, it's free. We'll put a link.
Not tomorrow, it's Saturday.
Which is tomorrow.
This Friday?
At least when we're watching this video to be Friday.
This is Thursday. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, we're taping this on Thursday, so it is tomorrow. Sorry. When you see it. You got me confused there, Nick.
We'll put the link to register for it. It's free to watch it online. And we also open it up to the people here in the room at Ron's Quick Start. That's full, so but you'll actually have a live audience for the first time doing a virtual event here. How do you feel about that?
I feel fine with it. 'Cause I'll be picking on the audience and we'll be practicing. Watching virtual is better than nothing. But right now we're full, so couldn't come if you want. And by the way, I'm not doing it again. So, but we're making a new course called Mastering the Phone, and you'll have access to that. And our Go Club members are always going to get a good deal, aren't they, Nick?
Yep.
All right.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.